friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm your host, Willy Will, and this is my co-host.
Jhoany. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. I'm No Ma'am. Ooh, I'm
All
in the
right.
straight era.
You are in your straight era. You sound real tradish. I love this for you. It's the
I
greatest
don't.
thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever. Well, while Jhoany is in his trade era right now, we are recapping all things episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race season 17, and that is the iconic Snatch Game. Well, maybe not in this aspect, because this Snatch Game was maybe not iconic. No shade. And if you are not familiar with the Snatch Game, then baby, this ain't the podcast for you, child. Like, no shade, because you should know what the Snatch Game is all about. Well, so in the beginning of this episode, we are coming off Mona Lisa's elimination, right? And Ariete wins the Let's Get See Sickening Ball. No shade, Ariete ate everyone up, like by
Hopefully.
like a landslide. There was nobody that was even coming close to her.
Yeah, no, she destroyed those girls. I'm glad she didn't get eliminated the episode before, so we had a chance to actually witness that. Or else, I think it would have been a really sad episode. Or
It
like
would have.
sad runway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel
Yeah.
like she really
I mean,
eliminated.
Mona
And like
Lisa,
some
she
of the
went
girls had
home.
the girls had some good looks, but I feel like she got 3 overs. So like, come on.
She did get 3 overs, yes. And then, like I was saying, like Mona Lisa went home, but I'm a little sad that Mona Lisa went home, only because she went home doing like a silhouette that she normally wouldn't have done if she didn't take like the judges' opinions. So
See, that's exactly how I felt when Lucky went home. I feel like they didn't go home being authentically themselves, and I feel like that just adds a layer of sadness to the whole situation.
well, while I am sad that Mona Lisa went home, the girls not so much.
They don't give a
Were
fuck.
not. They were like really indifferent that Mona Lisa went home. And in particular, Corey King was really excited that Mona went home, and so I just found that to be really funny. Like Corey King, out of everybody, it's like another bitch went home. Oh well.
Girl, you need to go home.
But we see that Lana Jarre, she feels a little defeated because, you know, just like Joella, she is iconic back home. And she feels like she's not necessarily bringing her, like, aesthetic or her sort of drag and her persona as Lana Jarre in New York City is not really translating to what she's doing here in Drag Race. And to be honest, I kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in New York City knew of Lana before she went on Drag Race, and I do agree that she's not performing to the level that we expected. It's kind of sad to see because obviously we're going to root for a New York queen, but hopefully she's able to pull herself out of the rut for the rest of the season and
And
start
then we
delivering.
also, what I found to be funny in the beginning while they're actually untucking and they're getting, like, obviously
Wait,
they're preparing for the next day.
do you
Go ahead.
do you think this is how LA people felt with
Joella?
Joella?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Okay. I was about to
The
say, because
amount of
we were making fun
discourse,
of Joella so hard, and maybe she had some fans back home that were saying like what we're saying now about Lana.
no. But the amount of discourse that Joella was getting when she said that she is like an icon in the local drag scene in LA, we are not getting that for Lana. People are like, yeah, Lana needs to bring it because we know that what she can do. Like, but what I found to be really funny was that obviously Lana was like, oh my God, did you like the lip sync? And Jules was like, yes, it was so great. It's iconic. Here, Sam is like, iconic is a very like strong word. I will not just throw around the word iconic when I'm talking about Lana. And I have to agree with Sam because that's strong.
It is. I definitely will not use that word, especially for that lip sync or her lip sync abilities. I get she was trying to maybe like bring her up a little, kind of get her to feel good after what she just went through. But like, girl, don't let her.
Right. Okay, so the next day, we saw that Mona Lisa probably did the most iconic thing in Drag Race history, in my opinion, and she left the bob in the workroom. I loved
The
it.
way I would have put that on right then and there, like I would have snatched that shit and put that on my head. Rest in peace, Mona Lisa. Like I would have done the whole bit. I would have put on
It
the
was
turtleneck.
It was given Oprah's favorite things. Mona was like, you get a bob, you
You
get a
know
bob, everybody gets a
what?
bob.
You know what would have been funny? If somebody would have used that bob and done her for Snatch Game.
That would have been great. But you know, honestly, I feel like we had a missed opportunity with Mona Lisa playing Paula Deen. I would
I
have
thought
loved
that
to
would have been
see
so
Mona
funny.
Lisa play Paula Deen.
Yeah, because the last time we got Paula Deen was what, season 6? Darien Lake?
She did Paula Jean?
She was like two rats humping in the wool sock, blah 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 blah.
Yes. It was very safe
Like
Paula Jean.
it was, but she had some funny moments, like her eating, like straight up eating butter. I thought was funny.
Yes.
Disgusting, absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting, but
But then
funny.
again, Paula Dean is a Republican and she's actually racist. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
not.
see, she could have like played with that. Like she could have gone there and made fun of that.
True, true, true,
Like
true.
just go full right way.
Yep. All right. So then we see that Rue comes into the workroom and tells the queens that the Maxi challenge will be none other than the Snatch Game. So this episode, we didn't get a mini challenge. We just got straight into the Maxi challenge and then the walkthrough of RuPaul. So to me, we used to be really excited about the Snatch Game episode. But lately, in these most recent seasons, Snatch Game has been very underwhelming. Why do you think that is?
I think it's a couple of things. One, I think everything post All-Star 7 has just felt very underwhelming. I think that it's kind of because they gave such good Snatch games. Like both Snatch games they did were so fucking good. Even the ones who did bad were funny. And obviously, like Jinx's performances have been iconic, and we like nobody will ever be able to live up to that, I think. So anything post that has felt underwhelming. And also I just think the girls have kind of lost track of what Snatch Game is meant for, and it's really just meant to make Rue laugh. Like make Rue laugh, make the people laugh, regardless of what character you're doing. Make her laugh. It's not all about just being personifying the character that you're doing. It's really about the jokes and the wittiness. And I feel like we've kind of strayed from that. The girls have not been doing their homework, and it shows.
Right. I put in my notes, I said, I think it's because one, it's 17 seasons in, right? Like Snatch Game started in season 2 with Tatiana being the
I
first
think
winner.
this is the longest running challenge, besides the ball.
Yep. Yep. Right. We saw Tatiana win in season 2 with her iconic Britney Spears. Like, I got lost. Favorite part with the baby in her lap. Right. Like, that was really
He
great.
used to tip me with his man butter.
Right. And so the thing about that was she still was Tatiana, but she had elements of Britney Spears. So she never lost who she was, but she knew Britney. And I think that's what's really great. And she was able to volley and bring into the improv of yes and. What I've noticed so far with these new batch of queens is that they want to either look like the character so much that they forget that everything else. They're trying to do characters that are not naturally funny, or if they aren't naturally funny, they don't know how to bring the comedy out of the character. And we saw that in this Snatch Game in particular. Or these characters are so made up that it's hard for us to connect because we don't know who they are.
Yeah, I see that. I think they're taking it, some of the queens are taking it too seriously, and they forget that we still want to see who they are.
Right.
We want to see this character through their lens. We don't just want like a carbon copy of whoever they're doing.
Right. So we see that Susie Toot is so excited for Snatch Game, and she feels in her spirit, all the way down in her loins, that this will be her third win. So we also see that she decided to do Ellen Green from the Little Shop of Horrors. Did you know who Ellen Green was before they said that she was Audrey?
So the gays are gonna come for me. I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors. The gays are gonna come for me. I know, bad gay. So no,
What?
I didn't know who she was.
I would have thought she,
But
honestly,
apparently she does it all the time. But
yes. Like, we'll get into her specific Ellen Green caricature. I thought she should have done Audrey too, because to me, Audrey 2 is funny in itself. Like Audrey 2 is the monster plant. Like I think that she should have done Audrey 2. Like
I
if you're
think
gonna
no.
do Little Shop of Horrors, then do Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I know about the plant. Like I know that's kind of the main thing about it. So maybe that would have
Huh.
been funny. But
Well, on the other hand, Susie is so excited for Snatch Game, but we see that Lydia Butthole Collins is not. Lydia is like, great, Snatch Game.
that would be me. That would be me, girl. Like shit.
Another one. Oh my god. But it's crazy because she's been doing old characters, which is so funny to me. She's been doing these old characters, and yet,
Which she doesn't know about at all. Like
right,
her Sophia. God, that was horrible.
it was bad. Like, Pacoima. I was like, you're not even
It
getting
was
into
so
the character.
robotic. It was so
Like,
robotic.
she's trying to be the straight man, it didn't work. Well, Before we even get into the actual Snatch Game, I did want to talk about the walkthrough with Ru because I thought there was some elements in this walkthrough that I have not seen RuPaul do in such a long time. And for some reason, I'm not sure if you're catching this, but I don't think Ru likes them.
I think she does. Cause girl, I think she's over them. Okay. This is gonna sound very mean, but I'm okay with it at this point, honestly. I'm ready for the season to be over. I'm sorry. Some of the queens have been performing decently. Love the queens. There's no shade to them. Maybe it's the way the season is edited. Maybe I don't know. Whatever it is. The queens are just not performing to what I thought they would. And I think Rue agrees. Rue and the producers agree. I don't know, the season is just not giving. I don't know what it is. I'm trying not to be shady to the queens.
Right.
Because
No,
it's not
I
always
see what you mean. I see what you
yeah.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was living for RuPaul coming for Corey because I've been saying that, like, guys, rewind the tape. I've been saying that about her fucking shoes. I hate the shoes. Insert clip here. But no, I hate the shoes. So when she went and she reached, like, she dug through everything, she grabbed the shoes and she was like, these shoes right here. I was like, yes, drag her for those shoes. Drag her.
Yeah. Yeah. I also thought it was really fun. Honestly, I love Alyssa Edwards, but I thought it was a choice to have Alyssa as the walkthrough guest, right? I mean, I get it, but and then, obviously if you're watching this, you've seen the episode last Friday, Quinta Brunson was the special guest. And so I thought for Snatch Game in particular, if you're gonna do like a walkthrough, I thought it should have been maybe have Quinta as like the mentor going into Snatch Game.
Absolutely,
Right,
because
because she's comedy gold.
I was about to say that. Quinta's a comedic genius, sorry. I think it would have been really fun for her to do a walkthrough or even have her be part of Snatch Game.
Yes, right. I thought they missed an opportunity to have Quinta like have more of an impact because they've normally done that before. They've had
Hmm.
the judge like walk through with the queens and then actually be the judge on the runway at the same time too. But I just think that they wanted to give Alyssa like some spotlight because she won Global All Stars. Which, if you're like Jhoany and myself, then you caught when Sam said, "We have the winner of Global All Stars, Alyssa Edwards," when when they didn't even have Global. Global didn't even air yet when this was filmed.
See, that was my initial thought. And we were like texting each other. We're like, wait, girl, this is typically filmed like June, like summer, June, July.
Right,
Global All Stars did not start airing till August. So
right.
either they were still filming or they had just gotten back. So there's no way they could have known that Alyssa won her season. So my initial thought was like, ooh, girl, rigor mortis. But after rewatching the episode, you can clearly hear the edit.
Yes.
That's not what Sam said. She
No.
said she did say Alyssa or she's the winner of something. It was probably not even referring to Alyssa, honestly, and they just
Yeah.
added in the Global All
Global.
Stars.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely very frank in audio.
It was. It was very All Stars 4, and for the first time ever. It
No,
was,
you know what it was
it was
giving?
giving that.
To me, it was giving Tatiana All Stars 2. That's what my asshole sounds like when I have Mexican.
Yes, very much that. But
Yeah.
it was so funny because when it happened, I was like, "Bitch, get out of my head!" Because you text me as soon as I was literally texting you, like, "Did that just happen?"
Yeah.
Because a part of me was like, okay, if they told Sam that Alyssa Edwards was going to win Global All Stars, then okay, because Sam had to sign the NDA anyway, so she couldn't tell people that she was like on the season. So regardless, she couldn't tell people that Alyssa won because she would have broke the NDA. Like that's when my like producer brain went, and like
But
I put the HR
yeah.
cap on, and I was like, that
No, I absolutely thought the same thing too. Like they definitely made her. I mean, regardless, she already signed an NDA. I don't
right?
think they would have made her sign one specifically for that because she signed one already. But I was in my head, I was like, "Ooh!" So these other
Yes,
girls never
yeah.
had a chance. But obviously now we're
When you played
rewatching
it
it.
back, yeah,
Yeah, I was like, "Ah, okay, never mind, never mind."
yes.
Conspiracy theorist hat off.
I know. You know what I also thought was really funny was when Alyssa heard Rue say butthole, her face was like, "What the fuck is going on here on this day?"
It was
Like
giving.
that's
It was giving like her reaction to Tessa Testicle. Like it was.
She said, what? She said, no, no, we're going to have to workshop this. We're going to have to do something else. Because what people fail to realize is Alyssa is very pageant.
She's very,
Like, she is very, like, prim and proper. So
very
when you go
demure, very
against,
proper.
yes, when you go against the grain with Alyssa Edwards and your name is something crazy, she's like, what the fuck is going on here on this day? What we doing? Like, no. It was like,
We laugh,
who?
bitch.
Like, that's what she said. It was given, I could wear a wedge. A who? It was very much
A
a
sneakers wedge.
wedge.
She didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to say. For those of you who haven't seen Celebrity Drag Race, the first season, the original season, go watch that because that was a good season, bitch. And y'all can't tell
Yes,
me otherwise. I need that
yes,
to come back.
yes.
Not the
And
secret
so,
celebrity bullshit version. I
no,
need the actual, like
yes,
them being in drag and competing version.
yes. And then Ariete tells Rue that she's going to be Cupid because she's a baby. Child. I don't know what to say. Like, Rue was not
Get
impressed.
these damn girls off the internet.
Rue was not impressed. But, like,
Oh.
you're not going to be Cupid, but you're going to be baby Cupid because you are a
You know what
baby.
I thought would have been really funny? Had she played, maybe yes, do that joke to start with, like, yo, I'm just a baby, and then completely switch it off and played like this old, disgruntled Cupid who's tired of being Cupid and just so done with life and just ready to retire.
Yes,
Like alcoholic Cupid, like crackhead Cupid, something like that. Just like this old, disgruntled Cupid who's just ready to
yes.
give it all up.
Yes, she could have played Cupid like the cartoon character Baby Doll, and I think it's either like the Batman series or something, where Baby Doll is like she's so young and she's like a baby with like pigtails. She looks like Shirley Temple, but she's like a 55-year-old lady and she has this deep ass voice.
I'm just thinking, now that you mentioned that, there's definitely a cartoon that has a similar idea of the Cupid that I just mentioned. I think maybe it was like Very Odd Parents. Maybe had like this like raspy voice Cupid that was just over everything. Was it?
Yes, I don't think it's very
No, no, no. It was the Wizards of Waverly Place when they brought Cupid. It was like a baby Cupid, but with like a really deep like voice. That's what she could have gone with
There's also
instead
a
of
Cupid cartoon. He plays in one of these things where he's like that. He's like a grown ass man and smokes cigarettes, and he has a raspy ass voice.
yeah. See that? I mean, probably not original, but it would have been funny that I'm just a baby.
Right. And she just came out with a deep ass voice, like, oh no, like, right. It would have been so good. All right. So let's get into Snatch Game. So we have, here are the characters. In case you forgot, Trisha Paytas, Joyce. Susie Toot as Ellen Green.
I mean, I think it was perfect for Acacia because Trisha's kind of forgettable nowadays.
Yeah, but Trisha Paytas is not forgettable. She's so funny.
I mean, I
And
kind of
yet
forgot about her for years until recently when she just came up because she's doing Broadway or something.
no one has been able to do Trisha Paytas on a Snatch Game and actually like give her justice. So I just think the girls need to hang it up. We have Susie Toot as Ellen Green. We have Lexi Love as Gilbert Gottfried as Lexi Love. We have Sam Starr as Kim Garrell. We have Lana Jarre as someone called Rosa Parks because that was not Rosa Parks. We have Anya Nerve as Eddie Murphy, but she looks more like Tracy Morgan. We have Ariete as Cupid. No, excuse me, Baby Cupid, because there's a difference. And then we have Lydia Butthole Collins as the cringy person that she made David Lynch into, because again, I was confused. And then we had Jules Sparkles as Miss Big Feet, but I think she meant Miss Bigfoot. But okay. We had Crystal Envy as I think that was Nicole Richie. I don't know who that was, but it
Or
wasn't the
something,
Simple
but I was
Life.
not in a core Richie.
It wasn't the Simple Life. And then we had Corey King as a black Bostonian Big Ange.
See, I mean, I guess we'll get to it. Okay, yeah, I just feel like that was a choice because like I feel like it's really hard to top Pearl's Big Ange because I thought that's one of my favorite Snatch games ever. Like I
First of
wasn't
all,
watching no goddamn
Pearl
Batman and Robin
Pearl as Big Ange is so good. Mansions. That is just so
with that really
good.
deep voice. Like she did so good with that. And I did
Yes.
not expect that from Pearl. That one of my favorite Snatch games of all time. I would love to see her again.
Shout out to Pearl. Pearl, you did such an. I'm sure you probably don't get as many flowers as you should about your
No,
Snatch Game, but you did an amazing job as Big Ange on the Snatch Game. And I'm sure if Big Ange was still here today, she probably would have said the same thing. So shout out to you,
absolutely.
Pearl.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
who were some.
shout out to her because she's been doing her thing on TikTok. I don't know if you're on TikTok, but girl has been like she makes some amazing outfits.
Yes, I
Like,
think she's like refining her passion for sewing
yeah,
again, and she's like upcycling a lot of those looks. So,
yeah, she's doing that damn thing. So if y'all not following Pearl on TikTok or just anywhere, just go follow her
yeah,
because she's doing her damn thing.
shout out to Pearl. Pearl, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you still live in New York, but if you do live in New York
No, she
City,
doesn't. I think she lives in
oh,
like the Midwest now.
I was about to say, if you lived in New York City, should have
She
came
moved
to the
out of New York City
podcast.
years ago, girl.
But you can still
I
come to the
think.
podcast. It'd be good to come to the podcast. I think
Yeah,
so.
ooh, I love that.
Who were your I was about to say, who were your shout outs? Who were your standouts, good and bad? Let's start with the good first.
Anya. She was not just Anya in the mustache. If you don't know who Eddie Murphy is, just say that and stop giving her that stupid critique. I thought she was really funny. I thought she did really well. She really embodied Eddie Murphy, but we still got to see who Anya was. I thought she was really funny. Like that Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. That was so funny. That was a great way to start it off. I personally would have loved to see maybe a little bit of the Shrek lines. And maybe she did use them and they just didn't air them. But I thought that would have been so funny because I think that's one of Donkey is one of his most iconic roles. So I would have loved to see a little bit of that. Duos was a very pleasant surprise. I think these made up characters or like these fantastical characters are very hit or miss usually. And this was a huge hit for me. The pitch was so funny. Did you just call me? No, Rue, I'm a woman. I died. No, Rue, I'm a woman. I thought was so funny.
Yeah,
Sam Star, I thought was she did the character really well. Um, I felt like there was a little bit missing with her, but if you're looking at the rest of the queens, she was one of the best ones.
yeah,
And I thought, surprisingly, I would have loved to see more from Corey because I thought she had a couple funny moments, or at least one funny moment. So I kind of wanted to see more of her Black Bostonian Big Ange. Like that moment when she was like, "Bitch, I'm black too," or whatever the fuck she said. I thought that was so funny
yes. That was
because
the
like
best
Big
moment
Ange
from
is not
Corey.
black.
No, no. That was Corey's best moment in the Snatch Game. After
That was her
that,
best
everything else
moment in
was
the
like,
season.
that was her best moment in the season, no shade. But I agree with you. Anya, I thought Anya did really great as Eddie Murphy. I thought that was such a smart choice, but especially coming off of Drag Race Down Under season 4. And Connor Ford did a version of Eddie Murphy. And we were like, what is this, right? And so
You
to
know what's
see
crazy? I
Eddie,
don't even remember that.
oh my gosh, yeah. See, look at that. Go back. We talked about it. We dragged Connor Ford. We love you, Connor, but we dragged you when we talked about your Snatch Game. But in this, I thought Anya did really well. My favorite moment, and when I knew that Anya was going to win Snatch Game, is when Rue said, "Everybody say love," and Anya
She said
said,
love. She was the only one. No, you know when my favorite moment of hers wasn't even during the Snatch Game. It was when they were doing the walkthrough. And she said, I heard somebody say Lynch, and I started running. Bitch,
"I was
that
like,
was comedy gold. The fact that she got into character before the Snatch Game even began,
yes, yes."
amazing.
Can we also talk about Anya's mustache almost falling off the entire Snatch Game episode? Like, I was like,
Girl,
it
get
was
some
on the
lash glue.
verge. It was on the verge of falling off, right? That's what, like, I just kept dying off of that. So she was good. Jules Sparkles, I thought as Mrs. Bigfoot, not Mrs. Big Feet. I was like, okay.
Sasquatch.
She's like, Sasquatch, what you call me? I thought that
That's
was
really
good.
offensive, bro.
But when she goes, like, Ruth says, oh, is that nail polish? And she's like, no, that's blood. And I thought it was so creative to give Mrs. Bigfoot a Staten Island accent. Because what?
That and what I really appreciated about her Snatch Game, the biggest thing with improv, and it's like the number one rule of improv that everybody knows. It's yes and. And I feel like that's exactly what Jules did. Like when Rue asked her, like, how much do you pay for your pedicure or whatever the fuck the question was, and she's like, no, but that's blood. Like that's exactly how you do it. Like she was just volleying with everyone. When
Yes,
she was like volleying with Sam Star, and she was like, get some hair. Like
yes,
I think she was the best during the Snatch Game with that. If that
yes.
makes sense, yeah.
My other favorite was Sam Star. Obviously, I'm a Sam Star stan. If you listen to No MAAM Podcast, you know I stan Sam Star. Love her down. I thought she was an unhinged Kim Garrell. I thought it was really great. My favorite moment was when she was volleying off of Anya and they was talking about ass. And she was like, speaking of a big ass, I'm a top 12 and a loose 14 myself. I died. I screamed
I
because I was like, Sam, that is so funny.
I
It was
thought that
so
was the
good.
best moment. And I think that's honestly my favorite parts of Snatch Game is when the queens can just volley off of each other, and kind of play with each other and not just rely on Rue asking the question. And I feel like that's something we've kind of been missing lately. So it was nice to see like Sam and especially Jules kind of bring that.
Yes. And I think it was easy for Sam and Jules to volley off of each other because obviously they're from the same drag family. So you've known that they practice that
I
to
was
be
about to
able
say
to
they
say
probably practiced each other
going back
like
and forth.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it
Like
was just easy
Trinity,
for them to just volley with Anya, right? But they already knew how to volley back and forth regardless of what was going to happen.
I feel like Trinity and Chantel definitely like recreated Snatch Game in the living room.
Probably. I'm
No,
sure they
like
did.
girl, we're doing this until you're funny.
Yes, because what people, especially for us, we've dissected Snatch Game. We watched hundreds of episodes of Snatch Game, and what
I don't,
Trinity
girl,
is really
I don't know if there's hundreds of episodes of
hundreds,
Snatch
but you know what I
Games.
mean. That's an exaggeration. But what Trinity is so great at Snatch Game is the difference between Trinity and a Jinx is very cerebral. Like Jinx knows that character like the back of her hand. But Trinity is amazing at yes and. She is very great as if you throw her a bone, she's going to catch it and she's going to make a funny moment. That's what she did with what was it, Leslie Jordan? She did
Leslie
Leslie
Jordan, oh
Jordan
my God.
and even
They changed
Satan.
it to drag queen. Honestly, that's still I think, my favorite moment of all Snatch Games in history. Like that finale of All-Star 7 when Jinx is singing, um, what's the name of the song? Whatever the song is. And then, Trinity's just like, they changed it to drag queen and like smiles.
She's playing the anthem to Drag Race.
Yeah, I just don't remember the name of the song.
Isn't it? Is it
That's not the name of the song.
gentlemen?
Is it sorry? Is that the name of the song?
I don't know. We're
I
so oh
know
my god.
it's
How do
that
we have
song.
a
I just
Drag
don't
Race
know the name of
podcast
it.
and not know? How the fuck we have a Drag Race podcast and not know the fucking name of it? Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
like that's my favorite Snatch Game moment of all time, which is like they
Yes.
changed it to drag queen and Rue like just
Yes.
like bursting
Dies.
out.
But not just Rue.
Like,
Everyone.
yeah, but like Rue specifically like seizing like of laughter.
It
Yeah,
was so good. Yes.
yeah.
And, honestly, and this may be a controversial pick, but my other standout was Lexi Love for all the wrong reasons. I thought it was really funny to see her have a meltdown as bad as she did, but for some reason still was in character, but out of character at the same time. So it like circled back to being good, but also really bad at the same time.
I don't like it. I just feel like if it had been another queen breaking character this much, they would have dragged her. Love Lexi the house down, and you know I've been rooting for her to win, but like I just didn't. I just felt like her constantly breaking character, not even trying to like stay within it. Like she would say like two words, break character. Like it just pissed me off. It was annoying me. I was like, stop showing her. Like show me the other queens. I was over it.
All right, so now let's talk about the bads. Who
I
stood
mean, I just
out
kind of did.
in the wrong way? I mean, obviously you feel like Lexi did. I have to say Lana Jarrett. Okay.
Girl,
I'm gonna say this one time, and I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be the last time I say this. What you're not gonna do, you're not gonna disrespect Black folks on Black History Month. Not today. Not during this administration. We're not gonna do that, okay? And then I get it. She may be a young queen, so she probably didn't know Rosa Parks that way. But like, you could have made Rosa whoever. You could have made Banji from Detroit. You could have made her like Banji from the hood girl in like New York. You could have done whatever you wanted to make Rosa Parks really funny because we don't know how she is. Or she could have been really prim and proper, like, oh my gosh. But there was so many things that we could have played on. You could have played on Martin Luther King Jr. You could have talked about how because him and Rosa, he They were friends, right? They had the civil rights movement together. You could have said that. You could have talked about the first lady who was supposed to be the one that started not giving her seat to the white lady. You could have talked about her. There's a lot of people you could have talked about. You could even said the bus stopped running in 2005 because Rosa died. Like, it's a lot of things that we could have talked about. The fact that Lana was just stuck on the bus still running, I thought it was unacceptable.
No, yeah. And Ariete and Susie, I think, all created characters or based their characters off of literally one joke, and they had nowhere to go from that. Um, and you can't do that, girl. You have to like have a fully fledged out character. I don't think either of them did that. Those were my three bottoms. Like if like it's okay, make this joke once, but don't just rely your whole character on that one joke. Because Snatch Game goes on for a while. Obviously, we only get to see like maybe like 15 minutes of it. But like we
Yeah.
know it goes on for a couple hours. So like you can't just be saying the same joke over and over and over again. And you gotta have
Yeah.
several backups.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, I get that too, but it is season 17, right? We've had this Snatch Game since season 2. By this time, you need to at least practice this, right? Like, you getting on the show, and I get it, right? Obviously, they want great television, so we don't want everyone to be amazing because then we wouldn't have anything to talk about, right? We don't want to be like, oh my God, the Snatch Game was so great that everybody was great. What do we talk about? No, we want some of the queens to bomb, yes, because it makes really great television. But there is some things in which we want to be able to enjoy Snatch Game. And for some reason, these last couple of seasons have not been able to enjoy the Snatch Game. It's really hard for a viewer to get into it. And it is no shade to the girls. I know you in a pressure cooker situation. And so when you're there,
What's a little bit of shade?
you may have things like planned out and it doesn't work. But I just don't like when I see 3 queens dominating the whole entire Snatch Game and everyone else is meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Like
Girls
you
need to do
had
the homework.
Yeah, and then Rue is throwing you a bone, right? Trying to give you yes and you're like, no. Like, hard stop.
Yeah. And I feel like Lana did that a lot. During the Snatch Game. Or well, not even a lot, because they did not show a lot of questions, which is
Like,
totally fair. Which is totally
she
fair,
was like,
honestly.
so if you don't like to stay in the hotel, where do you stay at? She said, my
My car.
car. So if you have the car, why are you taking the bus?
She was like, fuck. Like, what do I say now? Like, girl.
No, but I like the bus. I still like the bus because the bus is they're always running. It's still always running. What? Girl, that's Crystal Envy. Love you, girl. But Nicole Richie is not the most funniest. And so, like, I love Nicole Richie's deadpan personality. I love it. I think it's great. But, like, use that to your advantage. It's one thing to make deadpan to be deadpan, and it's another thing to make deadpan really funny. And sometimes you can make deadpan really funny.
Yeah, no, there's definitely been instances of it being really funny. The
I
only
think
one I'm
Queen
kind of
Jane was
thinking
a
of,
really great example as
I was
making
gonna
deadpan
say,
funny.
I was gonna say that maybe like Gigi's Snatch Game character, like very not necessarily. It was
Maria the
very
Robot.
robotic. Yeah,
Okay,
not the best example, but better than this one.
it was.
Yeah,
Who else was bad? Okay, I want to talk about Susie Chu because in this Snatch Game, okay, she said that she was going to win. She said that
I
this is
had
the
high
challenge
hopes.
that she said this is the challenge that she wanted, right? So obviously she didn't bomb the Snatch Game, so she's not part of the bads, but she didn't do good, so she wasn't part of the goods. But what I want to talk about is the delusion that is Susie Toot when they was getting ready for the runway. And now I blame all of y'all, America. Y'all told Susie she was funny.
See, but she didn't
I
know we
blame
were
y'all.
telling her shit. Well, no, blame her hometown. Blame Florida.
I blame
Because we're
y'all.
telling her she's funny now.
Y'all
But
did
she
that,
didn't know that when
America.
she was filming. No,
Are
not when
y'all
she not.
toots? Are y'all
Okay,
still tooting this Ellen Green as you what? Yeah, yeah, okay. So y'all need to listen to what I said the last episode, with the episode 6 recap, when I said y'all need to toot your ass over there. Y'all need to go sit down.
first of all, blame Florida. Because I forgot where from Florida she's from.
Fort
Because the
Lauderdale.
America was not telling her she was funny when she was filming this. So don't blame all of us. Blame Florida. But honestly, this episode with her delusion, which is not a like I live for a delusional queen that knows she's delusional. Like Valentina. Like Valentina, for example. She knows she knew she had some bad moments, but you couldn't tell her nothing. Like she knew she was bad.
Right.
But she was like, in my French vanilla fantasy, I'm still good. But she could accept the fact that, yeah, maybe it wasn't that great, but I'm gonna pretend like
Right.
it was great.
Yeah.
With Susie, I feel like it was the opposite, where like she couldn't take the critique. And she's like, no, I don't like, I disagree. I was good. Like, and
Yeah.
that kind of,
The
I don't
delusion
know.
was real. It
The
was real.
delusion was real, and it left like a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. I
Mhm.
maybe not tuning so much anymore.
Yes. But on the other side of things, right? Her Ellen Green was spot on for Ellen Green. So if you are listening to us, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you know who Ellen Green is and you are theater gay, right? Know that we're not shading her on her caricature of Ellen Green. We are shading Susie and all the tootsters about the fact that she was so delusional that she thought she did great.
She thought she won that.
Like, that's what we're shading her. Like, we gave her so much, like, oh my God, we're going to
I just
feed
feel
into her that she's so funny, she's so funny, she's so funny, that when the opportunity arises for her to be funny, she was not.
I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors, so again, I don't know whether or not it was a good impersonation of her. But I think she forgot the most important part was make Rue laugh
And Rue was not laughing. She was
at
not
all.
gagging. She wasn't
And
gagging.
I don't know. I didn't. Is that how she speaks?
Sort of. But she did like baby, but she was supposed to do like a little whiny. Because Ellen Green was a little whiny, a little
It felt
nasally, a
very
little
like
whiny.
I felt like her and Ariette were doing the same character.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And
Like
she
the
just
whole
stayed
like
on the scissor
Cecil's.
joke. Yeah, she just stayed on the scissor joke, and it wasn't funny. It was not funny.
The bus was not
So
running with that one.
the bus was not running. Audrey 2 ate that bus. Audrey 2 ate the bus. Okay? She ate the bus. Anyway, let's now get into the runway. So the category is nailed it. And so some queens interpreted the runway literally, and some had a concept which I can respect. So speaking, while Jhoany's like dying right now,
I'm sorry, guys.
speaking It's totally fine. Speaking of someone who had a fully realized concept that I thought looked amazing, was the first queen, Acacia Forgot. I thought, one, this is a really smart concept for her. She looked good. And this is probably the best she's ever looked so far to me
Not
on the
probably. It
runway.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
No, I
Does that
really
make you
like this
laugh
look.
when I said she ate the bus?
Bitch, stop making me laugh because like
Okay, okay.
my throat is so sore right now that like even drinking water hurts. And you making me laugh, girl, it makes me cough up a storm. But anyway,
It makes me queef. Sorry, so you opened yourself up for that Juju B joke. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, go on. Acacia Forgot. Acacia Forgot. Runway look.
Hmm. I feel like a fucking like 70-year-old chain smoker right now. Um. Anyway, in case you forgot, I thought it was a great concept. I thought she looked really good. It- For me, it was out of the box. Like I would not have thought of like Swiss Army knife for nails. Um. It was giving like glamorous butch lesbian in the best way possible. And I loved it.
It was glamour. It was glamorous, but
This was
it
a
was a
yes
yes
man for
ma'am.
me.
Yep, yep. It's a yes ma'am for me.
Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
my god, Acacia got this is my second yes ma'am for Acacia.
I think maybe my third.
Oh, look, Acacia, you moving on up in the ranks.
Girl. Too bad we're
Maybe you're
not
not
going to
as
see much more of you.
no, you're not as forgettable. Oh, Acacia.
No, I think yeah. Hopefully, maybe now that some of we're starting to get rid of queens, maybe she'll start coming out of her shell. And
Maybe.
we won't forget her.
Okay. Next up was Susie Toot. And honestly, I thought that what she lacked in the Snatch Game, she made up on the runway.
Oh, for
I
me.
like the reference of the Iron Maiden, which is obviously is a made up, like fictional, like torture device. But
I
she
thought it
looked.
was real.
I don't think so. I
When
think
she
it's made
said it
up.
was fictional, I was like, wait, girl, I thought that was real. I thought they actually did that shit, but I guess not.
But she looked like the pictures of the Iron Maiden. Like she looks like the torture device, which I
No,
thought was
fully.
great.
I loved it. I think again, maybe the best she's looked this season, or her best look this season, I want to say.
No, I think her best look this season was the devil look from Monopolins.
That was good. I mean, I just thought it was very different for her. Like this is kind of what we've been wanting. It's very different. It's very creative. I love the color scheme. I love the material she used. I like that the mask or whatever, the headpiece was on her back of her head instead of like her just pulling something off. I thought it was done really well.
Yeah. It was a yes, ma'am. I gave it a yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, yes, ma'am.
Next was Lexi Love. And so this is causing a little discourse. Obviously, we had this conversation previously. I thought, to me, it was very safe. Like,
It
I didn't get
was.
nails, like, right away, especially all the detail in the nails until they did a close-up of the nails. So I think that kind of, like, she kind of lost me in that aspect, right? Because the nails were like the focal point, but the nails weren't the focal point at the same time. I still gave it a soft yes, ma'am, but I thought it was really safe for Lexi.
I agree with you. I think it was a very soft yes, ma'am. I thought the nails were themselves were amazing. And the fuck, I forgot her name. I wanted to shout her out. Maybe we'll just insert her Instagram. But the nail artist is amazing. You can. I've been following her for a couple years now on TikTok, and her nail work is amazing. When she said they were hand painted, I immediately knew who did them. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. But like, I agree with you. It wasn't giving a nail runway. It was a safe look. I don't know. It was to me the look as a whole wasn't meh him. Her nails were yes, ma'am.
Same. All right. Next, we had Corey King. And I'm just going to say it for the both of us. It was a no fucking man. Like, I don't know why Corey King decided to come out on that fucking runway with that fucking look, with those busted ass fucking nails that she had on right now, and she thought that shit was drag. She would, for season 17 of fucking Drag Race, and she gonna give us that? What the fuck the mime have to do with that? Because of what? She was like French tips. So it's like, oh my god, a French mime, so I'm gonna do that. And then fucking crooked ass like French tips. Listen, Corey King has got to fucking go. And I'm so sorry that I just went in on Corey King like that because I was rooting for her. You know, I had one photo in
We
my
were
hand.
rooting for you.
I have one photo in my hand. One fucking photo in my hand. And she did that?
Yeah, no,
Why?
it was horrible. I just know. Well, not one of her Bostonian sisters I saw on Twitter who helped her come up with this look. She was like, guys, I swear when we were coming up with this look, we thought that we were eating up. We thought we were so creative. We thought we were geniuses. I get the idea.
Say
The
their name.
execution was horrible.
Was it
I
Atlas
forgot.
or was it Plain Jane?
No, it was not Alice. It was not Plain Jane. It's someone I've honestly never heard of before. Um, that's girl. I would remember Atlas or Plain Jane. I love them.
All right. I was about to say.
But it was somebody I've never heard of before. And at first I thought I was like, oh, this probably a joke. And then I clicked her profile. I was like, oh, she's actually from Boston. So she actually probably is being honest that she helped to come up with this look.
Mm-hmm.
But now you dragging her like
I didn't mean to. I really didn't. It just came out of nowhere. Because that's how much anger I have for the look.
my biggest pet peeve with this look is how cheap the nails look. And like I mean, obviously all of these nails are like press on nails that they just glued on because they can't be wearing these nails the whole season. But those were more the most obvious press on nails I've ever seen. They were all crooked. You could see like the glue. It was just horrible. Like I feel like I could have gotten better nails at the dollar store. Like no shade. I think honestly, I'm pretty sure I have better nails right there. Like I bought like a pack of nails from Amazon that had brought like 500 nails, and I think those would look better than hers.
The nail you broke looked better than hers. Like, if we come on now, if we want to be real technical. No.
I had to cut all my nails because one broke. I was so sad because I was
Right.
trying to grow them out.
Okay. Next up is Crystal Envy. Now, I thought it was cute for Crystal to come out as a werewolf. I thought it was good with the prosthetic, right? Obviously, she's a pageant queen, so to do something totally opposite of what like pageant drag is, I thought that was cute. Did I think this was the right runway for that look? No,
I think
but
it was.
I
I
gave
just
it a
don't.
yes, man. I liked it.
It was a very safe yes, ma'am. I think this was definitely the runway to pull this out in because of the nails. I do like the fact that she put them on her toenails too. When she came out, I was like, this bitch better have nails on her toes. And honestly, even when they announced the runway, I was like, I really hope somebody comes out with really big toenails just for the gag of it. So I really appreciated that. I just think it was missing some stuff. I don't know. I just, it felt like she could have gone further with it. The prosthetic didn't quite seem right, just to have the eyebrows and nothing like on the nose to kind of extend it like a snout. I
Yeah,
thought she could have done a little bit more with that. Maybe put some more hair on her face. I would have loved if she would have pulled, I don't know if she can, and I know it's really hard, if she would have pulled like a Honey Balenciaga and like ran down like the runway on all fours. I thought that would have been cut, like especially
that would
as
have
a
been.
werewolf.
But she did it in the beginning, remember? And she just stood up and she
No,
honked.
I know, but like I mean, like you know how Honey did during the
Yes.
Renaissance tour of like leaping like a cheetah down the fucking runway. I thought that would have
Yes,
been really cool. Or she could have
it would have been
honestly,
cute.
she could have just pulled the tumbleweed out and just like.
She could have done that. But speaking of a queen who you have said could have done more for the look, Sam Star. I'm a Sam Star stan. I love the look. But I think what I would critique is I think it could have been a little ugly beautiful. I think because the
I
plastic
think
surgery of it all with the cutouts and the arrows, if she would have did that with the face and brought everything in, I think it would have been amazing.
I think
She
had she
probably
had
would have
some
got it over.
I think had she had some prosthetics, maybe added some blood to the actual outfit. Maybe even been bald. Because I don't feel like this wig really like went with that look.
Right,
For me, it's a very, 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 very safe yes man. Like almost a
right.
meh. And the main two things. One, we've seen this before. I'm sorry. We see it every couple seasons. Somebody comes out with like a botched look. So it's not
Yeah.
the most original. I think it's one of the better ones we've seen. I will say that.
Oh, this is
But my
polished down. Like this is
fully
so
but I
polished.
also feel like this look shouldn't be polished. Like we need some grit with this look. And
Yes.
the judges' critiques later, I feel like it applied more to the runway than to like her Snatch Game, personally.
Right. Yes. But I also think it's because of Sam Star, so we was going to get polished, like down, because she's a consummate professional with it. I think it would have been great to see her a little gritty and not as pretty,
hmm
which I thought would
I,
have
I,
been really different for the runway.
yeah, but my biggest pet peeve with this was the nails. It looked really cheap. I get what she was going for, but it literally looked like she just kind of like taped the syringes around her fingers. Like it
Yeah,
didn't
I
look
mean,
like it
yeah.
was naturally coming out of, I don't know. I feel like maybe she could have done a prosthetic where it looked like her finger was the syringe, or maybe like
Hmm.
actually put it on a nail or something. Like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it didn't look
Or
right to
like
me.
it could have been like coming like stuck in the
Yeah, that's
finger.
what I mean. Like, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, if I like I don't know if she was necessarily referencing, I will you're gonna come for me for saying this, but I will stand by this. I feel like she was kind of referencing the gay icon, Freddy Krueger. One of the scenes that's most ingrained in my head from my childhood from watching his movies is a scene from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, when he kills a recovering drug addict and he kills her through his hands that are syringes and he like injects like poisons her or whatever the fuck he does. But that's what it was given to me, but not well. It wasn't executed well. But that's literally when she came out, that's what it instantly reminded me of. I don't know if that's what she was referencing. I feel like
Listen,
she's a
I'm not
little
gonna
too
drag
prim
you
and
for the
proper
gay
for that.
icon. I'm not gonna drag you for the gay icon, Freddie, because people agree with you.
Thank
There's
you.
a, there was a
Thank you.
handful of people who loved that you said that Freddie Cougar was a gay icon. So yes,
Yes,
so we
yeah.
got that. I give that to you. Next up was Lana Del Rey. Now we've seen this look before.
I was trying to figure out who did it. Like I know
Violet
Violet,
Chachki did that.
similar. Didn't she do it on in the Met Gala?
No, she actually did the same kind of look, like just like this. She did the Met Gala one with the hands, yes, but she did this look too in red.
Because I like when I looked up, because I like when she came out, I was like, I've seen this before. I
Yes,
couldn't remember who or where, and I tried looking it up, and the only thing that kept coming up was Violet Chachki's Met Gala dress. I was like, I guess that's kind of what I was thinking. And then I tried to think of an international season. I was like, maybe one of these queens did it. And now that I think they might have done it in España, no? I feel like I don't know why, but it's kind of giving me Sagittaria vibes.
I mean she would be the one to do it
Yeah,
because I think she'd be the one to pull it off,
yeah, or she absolutely would have.
or Novima. Like those would be the only
hmm
two that can actually like pull it off,
Yeah,
right?
see, I'm looking at Violet Chachki like glove dress, and all I'm getting is her Met Gala look.
But yes, Violet actually did this, and I'll pull it up so it'll be side by side. I'll give you the thing that Violet actually did this dress, but just in red, a similar version to it, and she did it. And I just like I've seen this dress before. Now, which is something about this dress, mind you. Jesse Kelly made it, and anything that Jesse Kelly makes, it's going to be amazing. But for some reason, I just feel like it was missing something to make this just stand out to me more.
I think she could have done something with the actual nails on the dress. Maybe matched it to her nails. I don't know. Maybe extended them a little, just because the hand felt very manly to me. I don't know. Like,
And out of place. They felt
yeah,
out of place.
kind of similar critique that I gave to Anya a couple episodes ago or last episode maybe. Like it was giving uncanny valley to me. I don't know if it was intentional that the finger in the back was the index finger, or if it was supposed to be the middle finger and they just kind of messed up. Uh, because when she turned around, she was like, "Look at the finger." I was like, "Wait, but why is it an index finger? Like,
Yeah.
why does
Yeah.
that matter?"
It was the placement of the fingers around her that didn't really make sense. Because there
Yeah,
was no space between. Because if she's gonna do the middle finger, it should have been space between like this finger and then the middle finger and
yeah,
then
no,
this
it
other
was
finger.
clearly the index finger, but I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you point out the index finger? Like, if you're gonna do the finger, do the fucking finger, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But you know, it's only for the girls who love the details that we would get into the details. But some girls, you know, they're not in the details. They just see Lana and they just stand for Lana and they're like, oh my god, she's amazing. Which don't get me wrong, like she looks good, but
I mean, the one thing you can never come for Lana with is that face. That face card will never decline, bitch.
never.
You can never come for
Um,
her with that.
all right, next up we had Jules Sparkles. And so, well, no, but what did we give Lana before we get into Jules? What did we give
Oh,
Lana? Because I gave
it's a
what you
yes,
give.
ma'am. It's a yes, ma'am.
It's a
But
very
like very,
soft yes.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up is Jules Sparkles. Now, this look, I gave it a meh. It was only because I just didn't get the silver stuff that was happening on like the corset. And I feel like it didn't need it.
Think she looked beautiful. It's a meh for me. It's very dark for Jules, which I appreciate. I just don't like when you have to like explain it that much. Like if you have to explain it that much, girl, it's not a good concept. I'm sorry. Like I feel like if she was going for the whole back thing, like she could have done maybe like some prosthesis in the back with like metal. I don't know. I feel like there's so many ways she could have gone with it with that like concept she was trying to sell. It was giving like if you had
Or like she could have had two hands. Like she could have had the silver, like a silver rod, and she could have had like two hands like holding it or something, right? Like
oh
in the
that would
back
have
when you
been
turn
okay. I
around.
can see that.
Because like you just like pulling it because she's like a bionic Barbie. Right? It
Yeah,
could have been something like that, right? Like if you think of the concept. It
she
could
could
have
have.
been her hands.
She like even with that, she could have done like I don't know how exactly you would have executed this, but maybe like a hand controlling her or something like that, like a puppet hand. My biggest thing with this is that those nails, that glove, whatever she was going for, it's giving Chromatica, but like Chromatica if you bought it off of Shein. Like it looks
Yeah.
very cheap.
Now this was not on the same level of the package like costumes as she has brought,
Fully
right?
not.
Like
And
this is not on that one. So
I feel like had she executed a flawless runway, it could have been a double win. Sorry, kind of
yes.
spoilers, but I mean we watched it already. But
Right,
I
right.
feel like had she had a really good runway, it could have been a double win.
Yeah. It just didn't give me like enough for it.
Yeah.
It goes in, it reminds me of that jumpsuit where she did the star. I forget what episode that was. I think it was like the
It
talent
was
show
like
number
episode
or
one
something.
or two.
Episode one or two, where it didn't fit her as well as she wanted it to be. And that's when I was like, it kind of gave me that, right? But every other, like so far,
No,
other
she's had some
costumes was
amazing
great.
looks, and this
It's just
isn't
this
a
one
bad
just
look. It's just it's not her best.
right, correct. So next up was Lydia Butthole Collins, and this was a no man for me.
Oh, man.
And I've said this on numerous episodes that I'm not Lydia's target audience with her drag, and I'm okay with that. Like, it's nothing wrong with Lydia's drag. Like, I just don't get into it because it's nothing about her particular like drag that speaks to me as a like individual, and that's okay.
Yeah. Um, I just no, ma'am. The one thing I kind of liked about this look was that she tried to go for like that really long nail, which I really liked the concept of it, and I wish somebody had executed it well in a way that like looked realistic. Because we've seen those before. Like we've seen those women who grew out the nails to be like 50 inches long. And they look like very like brown and nasty and gross. Like I feel like that's what she should have gone with. I didn't like how like the nails were like they looked very floppy. They're obviously not hard and they were like tangling up on each other and the one was like bent over. I don't know. I hated that headpiece so
Right?
much. Like you said, her drag is not for us.
No.
But I don't know. They
Yeah,
just girl go on. I think she should have auditioned for Dragula instead.
she could be a monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up was Arietti. Now, I gave this a no, ma'am. because I didn't like it. I didn't think it was, to me, I was confused with the look. I'm sorry. Was it conceptual? Yes. I just didn't get it. It just wasn't one thing that spoke to me. I thought it could have been better. I thought she was going to bring like her Ariadiness. And to me, this one kind of fell short. It's maybe a controversial opinion, but I didn't like it at all.
That was nasty. That was a nasty song. Bad guys. But this is I think this is gonna be Ariadne's only no ma'am of the whole season. Let's be real. But yeah, it's a no ma'am. I don't like one, it's just the bottom, like the bottom felt unfinished. I think she could have elevated it, maybe adding some more stones at the bottom, adding like somehow adding maybe like if she had two like double arms, maybe double legs. She could have even done like if she's a cat, done double tails, something like that. I also just don't like where the arms separated. It felt really weird.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but when Quinta was like, I can't tell the real arm from the fake arm on a girl, stop fucking lying. Girl.
It was also really freaky though. It was kind of
It
freaky
was
when she
really
was
freaky.
and it was just like there and the arms was like right here, and it was just weird. It was just
Yeah.
all
It's a
right.
shame because she's
Next,
had some amazing looks so far.
I know. And then last but not least,
That felt
we
very
had
Gordon Ramsay. I was like, oh, what a shame.
oh my gosh,
If anybody who watches like MasterChef or any of the shows, he fucked up when he says, "What a shame."
shame. Yes, I mean, well, you fucked up when Gordon Ramsay says anything to you. To be honest. Last but not least, we had Anya Nerve, and I love this song. And I'm gonna tell
Really?
you why. There's a couple of reasons
I
why I
hate
love this
this.
song.
No, I'm
I
kidding. This is
oh, it's
Nova. Is it Nova?
yes,
Sorry, I
this
couldn't
is
even like hold
over.
on to that.
You really couldn't. But I'm going to tell you why. Because I love when a queen can come on the show and embrace the culture and really show what the culture is all about.
Hmm.
Right? There's a few queens so far that has been able to do this exceptionally well. Right? We have Bob the drag queen, did it amazing, right? We have Monet Exchange. We had Simone. And so there is Shea Coulee. There is a few like queens of color and black queens especially who come on RuPaul's Drag Race and embrace being black like as what it is, right? With all of like the ghettoisms, the synchronicities of it all. And this is quintessential African American culture. I know this girl.
I've
And so
seen
there's a
this
few
girl
shout
in my
outs.
high school.
Right.
Well, not
There's
high
a
school,
few
middle
shout outs
school.
I wanna give to. Obviously, I have to shout out Glitter Bomb Wigs and Chantel Sparkles for making that an amazing like wig for Anya. I thought that was great. But also I have to give kudos to where it deserves. Anya Nerve sold the fuck out of this.
I mean,
This was great.
this was amazing. It was very urban. Like you said, we know this girl. We've seen this girl. We went to school with this girl. I had a shirt like anyone in New York or who lives in like the outer boroughs of New York has had a shirt like that. Like it was amazing. I've seen a lot of discourse online about people being like, "Oh, she just wore a plain shirt," or like she's wore like jeans and a shirt. Girl, if you don't like, I'm sorry, but like it's not for everyone to understand. And I feel like there was a lot of microaggressions towards her, both by the cast and the fans towards Anya this episode. And I think some people really showed their ass. I'm sorry. But like, I think she was critiqued very unfairly by the general public, or by some of the general public, because the people who got it, and they absolutely appreciated it. But it's not for everyone to understand.
Yeah. I think this is in the top 3 looks in terms of like urban couture
Hmm.
with Simone's durag train.
My God, amazing. And even Simone's like hand me down look when the
Yep.
crown, the head off, whatever. Like,
Yep. Her step down look
yeah,
up
that.
there. Also, this has to go in the category with Michaela Couture from Canada's Drag Race Season 5, when she did the grunge look.
Hmm.
These looks are like, this is the culture.
Yeah.
And as my good sis, Queen Kong loves to say, for the culture, bitch.
Yeah.
And this is the epitome for the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Literally the one tiniest critique I had, and this is just a personal preference for me, is I wish her shirt would have said on your nerve instead of on your nails. But that's literally just me. That's it. Apart from that, like I don't even know why. I just would have preferred that. I get it. It tied in the look together. But like it's an over. I
It's an
love this
over,
look.
over,
Yeah.
down. Okay, so from the judges' critiques, we have Anya Nerve, Sam Star, Jules Sparkles as the top queens of the week. But here is the caveat. Here's where we haven't had this before, especially for Snatch Game. We have Lexi Love as a high safe.
I feel like we've had it one time before.
Have we?
I feel like we have. I don't think this is the first time. I think it's happened like once before. Maybe it was in like a group scenario, maybe. But I feel like this is not the first time that's happened. Viewers, let us know. Drag Race, super
Comment
fans, let us
below.
know.
Yeah, like if this has happened before, but I don't think so. I think it's so
Maybe
she
with an
wasn't in the top.
international season.
Maybe, but she wasn't in the top. I think that's when people get confused. She wasn't in the top. She was just a high safe. She kind of was like an honorable mention because she did so bad that they was like it turned out to be good, but they gave her notice and said that she flopped. We've all we can see that she flopped because she did, but it was a high safe. Then we had Arietti, Lana Jarrett, and Crystal Envy as the bottom. So now, did you agree with the tops and did you agree with the bottoms?
I think if they included Lexi in there, they should have also included Susie as like a low safe.
Oh yeah, like a low safe. Okay.
Yeah, besides Lexi being there, I didn't agree with the judges' critiques when it came to her. I thought the judges' critiques this episode were just kind of insane, honestly. Like I did not agree with what they were saying about Lexi. I love Lexi, and y'all know who've been watching her so far knows that like that's the girl I've been rooting for to win. But this episode was just not it for her.
Yeah,
And I think they shouldn't not even have like mentioned her in the critiques. Like just let her put her safe. That's it. Just let her get through. I don't
true.
think it was funny. I don't think it was so bad it was funny, but that's just me.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. When it comes to the bottoms, I agree. I think Ariadne should have been the bottom two instead of Crystal.
No, I think it should have been a bottom three and not a
Or
bottom
that, or
two.
that. Well, let's be real. It should have been like a bottom five.
It could have. It wasn't like season 14 where it was one winner and everybody else had the Lollapalooza. Like it wasn't that.
I would have loved to
It
see a
could have.
double. I would have loved to see a double win between Jules and Anya. Like
True.
honestly, if
But we've
there's
only
one,
had one double win for Snatch Game, and that was season 7
we haven't
between
had it in a while.
between Kennedy Davenport and Ginger Minge.
Oh my God, that was so good too. Uh, no whammy. Well, I forgot what I was
Shut
gonna
up.
say.
Ooh, that was good.
Um, damn, what was I gonna say? Anya, fuck, Lexi. I forgot what I was gonna say, girl.
Okay.
Oh, I will
Well,
say this. I think this solidified who I think will make it to the finale,
yes,
just based on the edits that they got, based on the critiques that they got. I think anybody who's watched Drag Race before, after this episode, knows exactly who's gonna be in that finale. Whether it's a top three, top four, top five. Like, girl.
correct.
If you don't, just put your goggles on so you could like look into it, girl. You can see who it is.
The same. This is what we say. We've seen this before. And then so obviously on your nerve, she's the winner of Snatch Game, and now she's a part of the 2 Win Club, making her the official frontrunner of season 17. And then we have Crystal Envy and Lana Jarrett. They end up in the bottom 2 and they have to lip sync to Hands to Myself by Selena Gomez. What did you think of the lip sync?
I need to know what the fuck is going on with these song choices. Like, who did they piss off that they could not get the rights to better songs? Like, is this the same thing that happened with UMG and TikTok where they took their songs off of TikTok? Like, I need to know what's going on. That these song choices have been so bad. Like, if you're gonna do Selena Gomez, do like an upbeat, like good Selena Gomez song, not this.
I mean, the category was nailed it. So
I get
Hands
it,
to
but this is a
Myself.
shitty song. And let's be real, the song doesn't always go with the runway category, as we saw last episode.
Yeah, that was a
I
missed
just thought this
opportunity.
was a horrible song to do. This was a messy ass lip sync. I think it started off okay, and you could see Crystal was trying to do her own thing until Lana tried to block her, and then she was like, "Oh, we're doing that here now, bitch." Okay, but she went under her, and then Lana got mad. Like, girl, you're the one who just blocked her.
Thank
Like, I'm
you.
not like, why you getting mad, girl? Like,
Like,
if you blocked me, like, bitch, I'm gonna do what I need to do to stand
yes,
out. And if that
yes.
means pushing you out my way, well, not necessarily push, but if that means like I'm gonna use you to like kind of elevate myself, I'm gonna fucking do that. So I liked that shit went underneath her, but then everything after that just felt kind of messy. Like when she tried to like fight her, I thought
Yeah,
I don't know, it didn't feel authentic. It didn't come off as natural. I don't know, it
no,
felt weird.
yeah. It was very cringy in that moment. That
Yeah.
moment was the only cringe was one of the cringy parts. I just felt like they were so like I think both of them were so like bewildered and devastated that they were both in the bottom, like having to lip sync against each other. Because obviously, like that Crystal Envy and Lana Del Rey knew each other prior to like being on
Yeah.
Drag Race. And now they have to come in and now they lip sync against each other. So one, you have Lana being disheveled because she's in the bottom again, second week in a row, right? And you have like Crystal thinking, oh shit, what about my track record? Like I've been doing so well in the competition and now I have one fuck up and now I'm in the bottom. And now they're both lip syncing against people who they actually care about.
Mhm.
So they're both trying to get the spotlight from Rue and not knowing that they're just being really messy. Because that's ultimately how it came out to be, which is
Well, it was
messy.
super messy. Like Lana's wig coming off and then thinking she ate by putting it back on. Girl, no, the wig came off. I need to go back to the good old days of like if your shoes or if your wig come off, it's a chop. Like,
I've seen when this came out, right, and obviously the days after it came out, so the Saturday and Sunday, all over the Twitterverse, people are going up for the fact that Lana put the wig back on. It was like, oh my god, that's great. And so I think we keep giving her a pass because we like her. And that's okay, but at the same time, we need to call a spade, right? If it was back in the day, like logo, Drag Race, that would have been a no. It'd
yeah,
have been
instant no
a
ma'am.
big no,
No
ma'am.
fucking ma'am.
It's an instant no, ma'am. Between her wig coming off, between us seeing the boy nipples,
No, that also another thing. Never show nipple.
I was like, there was a lot of no's in this. It was messy, them bumping into each other. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm sorry, no shade, but that moment where she did that dip and she thought she ate, I'm sorry, it was a no, ma'am. Like, it was no. Like, I love Lana to death. Like, I think she's an amazing performer, but at the
I
end of the
just feel like
day, no,
it hasn't reflected on the
no.
show. And I think there's queens who have amazing drag and who are amazing drag queens and can perform really well, but cannot translate that to reality TV. And unfortunately, I think Lana is one of those people. Like, this doesn't take away from the fact that she's an amazing drag queen, but I don't think what we know from her from New York is not translated to TV. And I think it's really sad. But like, this was just really messy. So many no ma'ams. I think it should have been a double sachet. But if it wasn't, I don't know, I kind of would have preferred to have kept Crystal.
Same, same, same.
Because just based off of the fact that she has performed, like this was her first fuck up.
Yes, same. Like I thought
But
this was, and I said that on somebody. I forgot which Instagram page I said that on, but I thought this was the most random of eliminations ever.
let's put our producer hats on. Lana's giving more drama than Crystal is.
This is
Uh,
true.
so we knew, like at this point, we know, like I said, who's gonna be in the finale. Like, and anyone else is essentially just like they're just gonna eliminate them when they see fit, when their storyline comes to an end, or when they want to save one of the girls who they want in the finale. And I feel like they knew Crystal was not, or Crystal was not giving them what they wanted in terms of like TV, in terms of reality TV. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race is a TV show before it is a competition. And they will make sure they keep the queens that give them the best TV, regardless of how they're performing in the actual competition. And I feel like Crystal was not creating drama. She was not being shady. She didn't get into it with any of the queens. So they're like, well, she's not giving us what we want. We're not going to keep her.
Yeah,
And I think the reason they kept Lana was because she just had maybe slightly a little bit more drama or can give a little bit more drama than Crystal can.
and she was slightly a little bit more delusional than Crystal.
That.
Like,
And
come on
also
now.
I feel like they needed to like every season there's a shock elimination. And I
And
feel
this
like
was
they needed that, yeah. It's
this
usually
was a
not
shock.
this early, but yeah.
To me, it wasn't a shocker. It was just random. Like it was just random as hell. Like I wasn't shocked at it because it's 17 seasons in, so it's but so much it's gonna shock me at watching Drag Race. Like I'm not watching Drag Race for the shock value anymore. Like no, we know like why they cast certain queens on certain seasons. Like come on now, it's 17 seasons of like the American like standard Drag Race, but it was just random. I just think like it was random as hell. Like Crystal Envy did so well and randomly, boom, eliminated. It's like,
Yeah.
what? That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean we've seen that before, but yeah, it was just production just wanted her out.
Yeah. And that's to tell you, if you're listening or you're watching this, that tells you right there that track record does not matter with RuPaul's Drag Race. It does not matter your track record. It only matters sometimes your track record when you're in the top, like when you're in the finale, but then sometimes it's based on what they're going to get the most out of. Who is going to give them the most ratings out of this situation?
Mm-hmm.
When they make the choice for who's winning, who is going to be more of an impact, whether it be a good impact or a bad one, who is needed. So for the queens out there talking about track record, yes, Crystal Envy had a really great track record up until her elimination. Yes, we can both attest to that. But this is a TV show. And I need everyone to put their producer hats on when you're watching RuPaul's Drag Race. It is a TV show at the end of the day. They want to win an Emmy.
Girl.
That is their goal. They want to win an Emmy. So they're going to do everything in their power to win an Emmy.
And I feel like the people who tend to be the most upset are the newer viewers. Like the people who've been watching it from the start, they're like, oh yeah, like she wasn't giving TV, so of course they got rid of her. That's not shocking.
Right. Right.
But yeah, like you said, track record really only matters in the finale to some extent.
To some extent.
And this applies to all Drag Race franchises. I mean, like, when Victoria won, girl, she didn't win a single challenge. She was safe the entire season. And then, like, oh, by the way, you win. Track record does not matter, girl.
We saw that Global All Stars. Hello. Come on now. Like, no shade to the Queens or Global All Stars, but that one had, like, people had an emotional response to that. Like, that should tell you right there how track record really does not matter.
No.
So, there you go. Because left it up to the fans would have gotten a whole different judging based on what the judges actually judged. So, track record is
Also, I'm also, I mean, we said this before and we'll say it again. Y'all need to stop coming for these queens because they eliminated your favorite queen. Like, that's so stupid.
the hate.
Like,
Stupid.
the amount of hate Lana's getting is insane. Like, I don't get it. Like, yes, you eliminated your favorite. Oh, wow, get over it. They got over it. They're friends. They're fucking friends.
Like, I don't know why. I don't know why the Drag Race fans, right? And it's a certain kind of fan, and I'm gonna say it, right? It's a certain twinks
I was
that
about to
be on
say
their that be on their
the little white,
computer.
the
The
little,
little white twinks. The little white twinks, and I can say it because it's Black History Month. I don't give a fuck. Right? The little white twinks be on their little
the demon
keyboard.
twinks.
The little demon twinks be on their little keyboard as their little keyboard warriors, and they always want to come with their microaggressions against the queens of color when they eliminated their little white queens who they think it's, oh my god, should have stayed. Now all of a sudden race is a factor. Now Lana is shit. She's never been good. All of that. But with her promo, when she was the fish, oh y'all was living for the girl. Y'all thought she was everything. Y'all was eating her up. Y'all was socking it up like a biscuit. But now all of a sudden she eliminates Crystal. Now we have a problem.
Yeah,
What?
it's so it's so toxic. It's insane.
They're
Grow the fuck
friends.
up.
Like,
Exactly
they're
that.
friends.
They're literally friends. Like they've worked together, and they will continue to work together, girl. Get over it.
They're friends. And I don't know how many times the queens have to say, hey, listen, not too much on my sister. Like, not too much. It's a TV show at the end of the day. So we said what we said in the heat of the competition, but not too much on my sister. Like, come on now. Like, stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, this is going right if they're watching us, which they may not be because we're POC, but who knows? Uh, but if you're watching this, stop sending hate to the queens, girl.
Drink your water and mind your fucking business. That's all I'm going to say. And on that note, because Jhoany is dying over there, that concludes our episode. If you don't know, Crystal Envy gets eliminated, which means
We forgot about that.
like we forgot about that.
If you didn't realize
If you
from
didn't
what we were
realize that Crystal
saying,
Envy got eliminated because Lana eliminated her, then yes, okay. But now that brings our end to episode 7, the Snatch Game. So if you like the laughs, if you like the shade, because there was a lot of shade on this episode, and if we had you say no, ma'am, which we probably do all the time, which is why you love us, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Hit that notification bell so you definitely never miss an episode and you know when an episode drops. And if you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio Podcast. Like, comment, and rate us 5 stars. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at No Ma'am the Podcast. And as always, we'll have you saying no ma'am and no tab. Bye.